Hello, and welcome to the beginning of a beautiful yarn crawl. It is very hot outside, so I'm not going to spend much time in the car here, but let me dive into what you can expect. So there are 10 locations in this amazing yarn crawl. I don't know how many years it's been going on, but I've definitely participated for a few years, and it's a fun way to visit different parts of the state while getting to see lots of beautiful yarn. There's also a lovely side quest this year by Happy Creative and Positively Yarny. They are doing an exclusive stitch marker and sticker at each location. So I feel like this is a bit of Pokemon and you gotta collect them all, right? So I've broken this week up into a couple different trips. Doing it all at once is kind of a lot. So here is a lovely map of all the different locations across the state. Now, there is one that is 3 hours south of where I live, and there is an option to just buy from them online, and it'll still count towards the overall prize. And while I do want to go visit this shop, and it's been on my radar, I do not have time this week to take a 6-hour round trip drive down to visit them. So, unfortunately, Julia's shop, we are not heading to you, but I am buying the exclusive sticker and stitch marker online, so cross that off. Now, this leaves us kind of a group in northern Utah. So today I am planning on hitting up Needlepoint Joint up in Ogden, Seed Stitch in Bountiful, Handiwork in Salt Lake, and Knitting Beehive in kind of the Midville area. So that is my plan for the first day of the crawl, and then these other ones will be scattered throughout the week, and I will end Saturday down in Utah County. So currently I am up in Ogden, Utah. It's about an hour away from where I live, and I got here a little early, so I went and got this lovely breakfast, and now I am going to head over to the store, and there's a street market happening right in front. So I'm going to go visit that for a little bit, and then once the store itself opens, I'm going to go and check out the goodies. So let's get going.
No way. How do you doing?
So walking into Needlepoint Joint, I've always kind of thought it feels a bit like walking into, if you've seen You've Got Mail, it feels like walking into the shop around the corner. It is, I just love the built-ins. It is so cozy. It just feels, I don't know. It just feels so good. They have such a variety of yarn. They are more for the rusticy kind of feeling yarn. A little bit, I don't know how to describe it. There's not a lot of hand dyed. There's a lot of kind of like boutique-ish yarn, I would call it. But again, the variety is phenomenal. They have obviously your hooks, your needles, things like that, but just so much variety in any kind of size, a ton of texture. I love this huge section of buttons. Honestly, like, so many buttons. Any kind of button you need, you can find in this whole section. I love that they have those huge jewel spun ombre yarns. Someday, I'm telling you, someday. I feel like with a name like Needlepoint Joint, you kind of do tend to be a little bit more geared towards knitters. There's more like knitting books and things of that nature. And Also, something else that kind of sets this store apart from most other stores is if you go down this little hallway and turn the corner. I don't know if you noticed out front, there's another side of the store. It is strictly needlepoint, as the name also implies. So this section has, or this side of the store, I should say, has so much thread, tons of embroidery patterns. I love this. I do have several people I know who embroider, who do needlepoint. So this is definitely a store I've recommended to them before. And honestly, it really is probably the biggest selection of that kind of craft and books and supplies in the state. The next store today is Seed Stitch. Now, you've seen this store before on an earlier vlog. If you missed it, don't worry, I'm going to give you just a shorter tour today. This is in Bountiful, Utah, and it is located on their lovely main street. It is another cute little shop, just kind of on historic grounds. They have such a good variety. They have a lot of hand-dyed yarn. Now, this place was definitely hopping. You could tell groups were traveling together today for the event. So much fun. I just loved it. But they had some store exclusive colors for the event, and I, silly me, did not take a picture or a video of them. So I do apologize for that. But seriously, so much hand-dyed goodness. Really, honestly, just fun little shop to go to. And they did actually have a trunk show going on. This is Happy Creative, and they are, like I mentioned earlier, one of the people that was contributing towards the side quests at every store. And also, you might recognize them from a review I did from their one of their mystery kits. They have a lot of yarn on the go. I love that you can mix and match all of these fun things. You pick your base, you pick your yarn strap, or I should say your handle strap, and lots of cute stitch markers. They have one-of-a-kind notions, boxes. She prides herself in creating one-of-a-kind notions boxes, I should say, and then she just makes one of those, and then the little saying on top, "You won't see it again." So Tracy, the owner of this business, is so kind, and just definitely check out her shop. I will definitely put the address in the description. The next stop is another location that I've shown recently, and that is Handwork in downtown Salt Lake City. I recently was there for a yarn swap, so you could go back and check out that video for a little bit more in depth of a store tour. But I love outside that they had some things set up, so you didn't even have to go inside to start shopping and perusing. Again, I love the vibe of the store. Parking is a hassle, yes, but it is absolutely worth the visit downtown. The store owners are lovely people. Like, I can't praise them enough. The variety in the store is fantastic. They remind me a little bit of Needlepoint Joint in that they do have more boutique-ish yarn. I'm trying to think of the right way to say that. A little bit more rustic, a little bit more just higher end yarn. They do have some hand-dyed yarn as well. And here, really quickly, you will see they also had a trunk show for Witch Fire Fibers. I do apologize for getting this name wrong earlier. This is Knitting Hive, not Knitting Beehive. They are located kind of in a bit of a strip mall, and they are a new to me location. They opened fairly recently, and I feel like they had a bigger shop than some of the stores, or maybe it was just wider. Cozy couches, lots of variety. I love how some of the yarn was displayed, like on the top of those statues. They had a doodle kit area, lots of like Kushi yarn. It was a ton of hand-dyed yarn that I noticed there, and But really, they had just a huge variety. Lots of notions, lots of kits, like pre-made kits that you could just grab and go. I was really, really impressed with their selection. This is a bit of a longer video for the store just because I had honestly never been there. So I had a lot to look at and a lot to check out. I love that they had these little headers above all the sections, so you knew what the cotton blend yarn was and what, you know, the bulky section was. They had one that showed, you know, local yarn, which I'll see here in a second, and really just fantastic organization. Also, hi. I like that they had mirrors that you could, like, you know, try out samples and see how it looked on you. They had tea sets, like, so much. I love that huge ball of yarn. This is the section of local yarn that I was talking about. There were actually two local yarns I had never heard of, and I talked to the yarn shop owner to see, hey, I missed these people. Who are they? I got through the first 4 stores a little bit faster than I thought I would, so I decided to extend my day to 2 more. This is Yarn on the Corner down in Sandy, Utah. They are part of another store that is Quilts on the Corner. This is actually really cool. It's a Utah historic site, and it tells a little bit about it. Sandy City Bank was what it originally was. I love that this is a quilt and a yarn shop. My bestie quilts, so this is like a fantastic combo store for the both of us. We've come here together before. Again, fantastic variety, and I love how each of these stores is such a different feel and a different vibe. They do have some hand dyed, but very limited. They have more of bigger brands like Madeline Tosh, Knitting for Olive, Juniper Moon, things like that. One of my favorite things in the store, and they always change what's displayed in it, is this big honeycomb structure. I just love it so much. They had some great yarn that was on sale. A lot of stores took advantage of the crawl and did a lot of great sales. Yarn on the Corner is doing a different sale for every day, so I love that it kind of drew you in depending on what day of the week you could go. So this store is broken up into 2 different rooms. Up here you have the main kind of area with checkout and things like that, and then here in this back section there's more yarn. We got some beautiful Malabrego, and this is where they keep their notions back here. I just had to show the quick view of the front room there. They have their notions back here where they have classes, bargain area, and then right off here to the corner, you will see the entrance into the quilting section. Now I had to film this little section because I thought this was so cute. They had these different yarn kits for different national parks, and I think they were just enough to like make a hat, and it included the pattern. I thought that was awesome. A short drive from Yarn on the Corner is Willow Hill Yarn Company. You have definitely seen this a couple times as well. They are located in Gardner Village, which is just a bunch of old, cute pioneer homes converted into stores and things like that. I love this store, and it really is the closest one to me, so that's why you see it so often. Still have to give a little bit of a yarn tour just because I love the atmosphere. It is, it just makes me happy. It's that mix of like rustic old atmosphere, but with yarn happiness. Lots of hand-dyed choices and so many samples. Honestly, one of my favorite things about the store is how many samples they have, because if you are stumped for yarn but you want to come and do some yarn shopping, it's always nice to see samples and things that kind of get you inspired as you visit. So something else really cool about this store is the owner, Emily, is actually the one that kind of heads up the yarn crawl. She is the main organizer for it, and we are all very grateful to Emily. We love her. They have a great yarn bargain section and just so much variety. Hello. So, slight change of plans. On Saturday, I decided to hit up 2 more stores because it was kind of early, so I thought it was okay. And then the side quest of the stitch markers and stickers are selling out at a lot of the shops. So it is actually Tuesday, and I took off work a little early, and I am on my way to my 3 remaining stores. I just made it to Park City. I mean, you can't really see I'm in their parking lot, but there's pretty mountains. I haven't been here. It is so cute. If you are visiting Park City ever, definitely give it a stop. Like I just said, this is located in Park City, Utah. It's a little hidden, so you'll definitely have to put in the name into Google to find your way here. I love that it's yarn at 7,000 feet. It gives it a lovely, unique little spin. Now, this store had a huge variety. I walked in thinking that this was the store, and I was already like, okay, it's cute, it's perfect, lots of good things to look at. However, there are actually, as you will soon see, 2 more rooms. So they also were great at labeling, like, hey, this little section has local yarn. They had it spread throughout, which was really cool. They had Dragon Horde yarn, which is a local yarn dyer, but I don't think I've ever seen them at another shop. So going down this wall of yarn, you will see the entry to the 2 other rooms. This room had a little bit heavier weight yarn. They had, obviously you can see some fun notions, but this is definitely smaller than the first room, but not by much. Great variety. Seriously, so much yarn. I also love like the exposed ductwork. It just gives it this really industrial kind of feel. And then here in this back room is where they do a lot of their classes. While I was here, this back room, everything in it was actually 50% off, and curse my limited yarn budget, I was not able to partake in as much as I wanted to. And now I am taking the long way down through the mountains to Provo to visit one more shop, and then up to Lehigh to visit the last. As of right now, I've left and I've seen a couple people go in. There were only 3 of the sets left. So I've called ahead to the other stores. They have them. So I'm in for a lovely scenic hour-long drive down Provo Canyon. Take some video. Don't worry, I am safe. I have a holder. I am not actually like holding my phone as I'm filming for the road part. But I am on my way down there, and I'm excited to get to the last 2 shops. And I can't believe this yarn crawl is almost over for the year. I love doing this. It is so much fun. I hope you didn't get too car sick on that drive down the mountains. There was definitely a lot of turns. We did make it down here to Provo. This is in downtown Provo. This is called Harmony. It is, oh my gosh, It is an eclectic shop, I would say, down here on the main floor. But this has a lot of fabric, a lot of yarn, and as we go through, you will see that this definitely used to be a pioneer home. You can tell by how many levels there are, and also how short it is to get to like every level. The basement stairs are like 5 steps. On the main floor, they also had just kind of a lovely like small selection of yarn. There's more as we go along, and lots and lots of fabrics. You take a couple steps up and you are right in the middle of all the fabrics. Sorry for that pause there. The store owner was talking to me. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. Definitely, as I was walking through this, I was like, note to self, gotta talk to the bestie and make sure that she comes down to visit this shop. Like I said, she is a quilter and definitely worth a visit if you are one too. Now this, they didn't have a lot of hand-dyed local yarn. You saw a little bit up or down there on the main floor. This shop had a ton of Noro yarn. It had a variety of Noro yarn that I had honestly never seen. So if you are a Noro fan, this is the shop for you. So this little section had a lot of yarn. You had some notions. And then as we walk through here, there was some more yarn. And then you also had more fabric. So broken up, it's such a fun little store of like every turn you take is something new. So I love that they did have some signs. So here we go down to the basement. Sorry for that little bump. They said there was a sign that said watch for the step, and I missed the last step. So some fun fluorescent yarn. They had zippers, they had more fabric down here, just a lot of notions, and also their discount yarn. And then as we make our way up a little bit longer to get up to, I don't know if you would technically call this the attic, but obviously this is where they have classes. I didn't show it really well. Hopefully I turn around and show it again, but there is, I do, yay, there's actually like another section up there. It was closed only for employees, but they had a cute little fridge that said yarn crawlers, take one. I had to go for the Diet Dr. Pepper. It was just no question here. And now on to our last shop. This is Petit Four Pearls. It is located in downtown Lehi, Utah, just off of their main street. It is such a fun location on the outside, and also, as you will soon see, on the inside. Now, this is a store I actually do frequent fairly often, but I have not videoed it, so welcome. This store is, oh my gosh, I love them because you will see a lot of tea things. They actually host tea parties. I've come here a few times with some friends, especially like during certain holidays. They'll have like a witch's brew. They've had like a spring tea. They'll have like a Mother's Day box. They have a cook that is phenomenal, and as is implied with the name, they will not only make petit fours, but they make a lot of just cute little tea cakes and tea sandwiches and just all sorts of things. Their tea is delicious. One of my favorite things here when I do come for tea is I will have them do an herbal raspberry tea, and then they use that to then make hot chocolate. So it's raspberry hot chocolate, but it's like raspberry tea hot chocolate. I don't know if that sounds weird to some people, but so good. Their hand-dyed section is super fun because it is in these huge teacups that actually they have a few for sale. So that is on my list someday. The front section of the store, as you saw, lots of great yarn. Back here, they have some more of their bulky stuff. And then in the very back room, this is where they'll have like their trunk shows and things like that, their classes. They were smart and set up a couple like extra little things, some kits that you could just grab and go. There in the corner, you saw one of the shop owners. She's a lovely, lovely person. In this room is where they host the tea parties. So love the umbrellas, and their sign is so cute. They have a closet that, like, for witches brew, you can put on little witch hats, and I can't praise the store enough. There's a reason why I just love it so much. And then you walk down this little hall and you make it back to the main room. So for the last stop that you do on the yarn crawl, you get to turn in your punch card and you get entered into a drawing for that store. Every store had a drawing. So here is proof that it was my last location, and fingers crossed. Although, spoiler, I didn't win for this shop, even though I really loved their prize. We are back in the craft room, and sadly, the yarn crawl is over. But that also means it's time to share all the goodies I got from the crawl. And I am very, very pleased with all that I acquired. First of all, at the very first store that you went to, I mean, it was limited supply, but you got this cute tote that just says Utah Yarn Crawl 2025. I would use this for every store that I went to, so it was actually really convenient. And let me dump it out. You also got this cute little Utah sticker. For those that aren't local, this is this is our state flower, the Sago Lily. We have some bees. We have the arches that you'll see a lot associated with Utah. Beehive. We have dinosaurs like Dinosaur National Monument. We have some seagulls, which is our state bird. Yes, landlocked. We have a seagull as our state bird. And then obviously the Great Salt Lake. Oh, and crickets. But this is a really cute little sticker that came with that bag, but that you got for free from your first store. Now, to start off with, I think I briefly mentioned it, and if I didn't, here you go. Every store had an exclusive stitch marker and sticker. The stitch marker was from Happy Creative, and the sticker is from Positively Yarny. Now, every store had this and they quickly sold out, which is why I finished my yarn crawl early on Tuesday, because I did not want to miss out. And I'm so glad I did, because they ended up having just like 2 left when I left some of those stores. So I was fortunate that I was able to get all 10 and get my exclusive prize. But others were not so lucky because, again, they sold out so fast. All that to say, let's start with a store I did not end up driving to, but I did order online, so I was able to get their stitch marker and sticker set. This is from Julia's shop down in Richfield, Utah. So it's about a 3-hour drive down and a 3-hour drive back for me. So I skipped it this year. I would eventually like to go down there. It's kind of on your way to like Capitol Reef and some other national parks. So it's on the list. They had this super cute butterfly and butterfly stitch marker. So there's the stitch marker, and then all of the stickers have cute yarn themes to it. So they have this gorgeous butterfly set. So that was what I got from Julia's shop. And then I started the first Saturday up in Ogden, Utah at Needlepoint Joint. I did not buy any yarn from there, but I did pick up their stitch marker and sticker set, which was yarn seeds. So you have this cute little yarn seeds stitch marker. And then cute little, I wish you could grow yarn from seeds, but cute little yarn balls, and I love it. In Bountiful, Utah was Seed Stitch, and I got this one from them, which is this cute little hummingbird. And then here we have our hummingbird with yarn. I love the colors in this, and he is so cute. I did buy something from there. I picked up this I believe it was, yeah. Mini skein. This is from Back County Knitter. Back County Knitter. This is Erasmic Berry. I'm making a scrap granny square, not granny square, a scrap granny stripe shirt. And it's mostly like purples and pinks. And I thought this would be a good one. I mean, most of them are scraps, but I'm definitely using a couple mini skeins for it to just kind of even it out. And I thought this was such a great, like, kind of mauve-ish color to go with all of those. So I picked that one up. So cute. And then I drove down to downtown Salt Lake to a store that you have seen a few times lately, and that is Handwork, Salt Lake City Handwork. I was determined to be there because one of my absolute favorite dyers was there, and I had to say hello, and there was something that she had shown that I was so sad I missed out on, and I was determined not to miss out this time. So down at Handwork, they had an orb weaver. I hate spiders. I am not a spider fan whatsoever. So I had to get them all. So I bought this, but also, like, this isn't the worst spider ever, okay? But there's a little stitch marker. There's the cute sticker. I use cute relatively loosely because it is a cute sticker, but it's still a spider. However, like, it's not bad. It's still good. So the person that was there was Witchfire Fibers. I will definitely post a link to her Instagram or her website. I have a lot of stuff from her. I love her colors. I love her as a person. She is so kind and so nice, and she's so great. Jess, if you ever get to meet her at a yarn festival or anything, get the chance, like, definitely do it because she's just a wonderful individual. So she had this collection of these colors. I was so sad I missed out on them. But it is this gorgeous, like, and I can't remember the exact names, but this is like this gorgeous clove color. This is this like mahogany brown. There's this really gorgeous lavender, not even lavender. It's like a dusty lavender. And then there's this, oh my gosh, it's so good. How would I describe this? Kind of like a dusty, I don't want to say dusty red because that's not quite what it is. But anyway, it's so fall and it's so good. She did have a sock that she made out of this. I will not make a sock because I am definitely, I need to work on socks. My twice tried knitting of them has not worked out well. But to be fair, that was one of my first knitting projects I tried, which was pretty foolish. So I need to give it another shot. But it goes with this beautiful base. And these are your classic, like 80% merino, 20% nylon. These are fingering weights. And I am just so excited for these. I am so happy that I got this. I kind of wish I had gotten 2 of these. But it's going to make some kind of beautiful fall cowl or something because I love the warmth of this, and like even this neutral color, this like beigey color has a lot of depth to it. I don't know if you can see that really well. But definitely a very happy purchase, and I am so glad that I braved the Saturday traffic to go because I would have been so sad to miss out. The next store, and it was a new to me store. It opens, I believe, last year, and I haven't had a chance to visit. This is, and I said it wrong at the very beginning of the video, and I apologize to them. Salt Lake City Knitting Hive. I called it like Beehive something. Their store, like as you saw, was so cute. But all I got was their stitch marker set, but I will definitely be back because their variety was just fantastic. It is this cute little gnome. So there is the cute little gnome stitch marker, and then there he is with all of the beautiful yarn flowers, and like he is just so cute. I love gnomes. So like this is just, oh, it's so happy. I love this. I finished, like I mentioned earlier, I finished a little bit like earlier than I thought, and I'm so glad I followed through and ended up going to 2 more yarn stores that for Saturday. The first one is Yarn on the Corner, and it's with the quilts on the corner. Super good little shop. They have this little birdhouse. There's a little birdhouse stitch marker and the sticker. It is so cute. Like, these stickers are phenomenal, and so are the stitch markers. I'm so happy about this because I don't have a plan for the stickers yet, but I need to think of something good because these are all just awesome. So I only picked up that there. And then I went to Willow Hill Yarn Company, which is another place that you have seen a few times. And they have this cute little bee. And then, oh, it's sideways. It was this a little bee with more yarn. And I love his like fat little body. He's such a cute little bee. From there, I did purchase a white mini. This was from Coats & Co. And this was just the color ivory. Also for that project that I'm working on, that granny stripe shirt. I have a couple of little bits of white left over, but I wanted to make sure I had enough to kind of break things up. And then this is my Tuesday haul. I went and I started up in Park City. Cute little shop. There was a worry that it was going to be closing, but now we're good. She has some interested buyers. I'm so excited. This was Wasatch and wool, and they had little mushrooms, cute little mushroom. And then I love that the spots on the mushroom are the yarn. So cute. I only picked up that. My budget was like super tight at this point, but like they are having like massive sales, and that was another store I had never been to. I've been meaning to, and I was so glad that I finally did, because definitely will be returning to that. So next up was Harmony down in Provo. They had this really cute little house. I mean, you saw it. I did get this and one other thing from them. They had just little yarn flowers. So there's some yarn planted, and then there's the little yarn that's growing. Again, if only you could use yarn seeds and grow yarn flowers, I would have a very big garden. Speaking of garden, I saw this and I was like, you always need zipper pouches, and like the humor in this just was not lost on me, and I had to get it. Pretty anxious. I feel like this fits me very well. It's such a cute little like anxiety flower, and then you just have like some regular flowers in the back, but it is double-sided. So cute. And it is this plasticky material, which is so great because, you know, if things get wet, then you're fine. But I loved that so much. So I couldn't leave without it. And the final store, which is honestly, no offense to all the other stores, one of my absolute favorite stores in Utah, was Petty Forum Pearls. I always have so much fun with the owners while I'm there, and I love like the area that it's located. They had a cute little watering can with flowers in it. I love the colors on this. Oh, so cute. While I was there, they had lots of things displayed, and they had some samples with this yarn, and I won't lie, like looking at it, I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of like the rusticy wool that doesn't feel very well, but like it was surprisingly soft, and I loved this color. I only got one skein of it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. This is Amble Wandering Souls yarn from the Fiber Company, and oh, look at that color. Like that is, I don't know if it's picking up quite. It's not navy blue, kind of like it's showing. It is this like, it has teal in it. It's more of a teal, like a dark teal color. This is called Wastwater, W-A-S-T. There's no E. Wastwater. I don't know. But this is 70% wool, 20% alpaca, and 10% nylon. It is fingering, and it is 355 yards So it was one of those deceptive fingering to me because at first glance, it doesn't look like fingering until you kind of separate it. And then you go, oh, yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I do have some yarn that will probably go with it. And I was like, if all else fails, there's always a hat or there's a pretty cowl or something. I couldn't pass up this color. Loved it. Now, for collecting all 10 of those stitch markers and stickers, you had to take proof. So take a picture, post it on social media, and then you went back to Willow Hill, that's in Gardner Village, and you got the exclusive prize, which was this. So you got a cute little Utah shaped stitch marker that said 2025 yarn crawl. And then you have this cute sticker. I love, again, the bee, which was their sticker. So it's kind of like nodding back to that. And also bees are very Utah. Beehive, like all those things. So we actually call it the Beehive State. I should say that. That's another thing. So, but the yarn and like, oh, so cute. I wish I was able to get more things because all the stores, it was such a nice visit to visit so many new stores, which is not, normally a thing. And I love kind of feeling the vibe at every store and going, all right, this is a great place if you want more of the like wool type yarn, more of the rusticy feeling yarn. If you were more for like hand dyed, this is a great place. If you want, it was just so great to see them all and to get like the different feel because everybody ends up with a favorite yarn store. It's natural. So kind of feeling that out and seeing how different each of the stores was so much fun. Now, bonus, I did not get this from the yarn crawl. However, I had to share this because I mentioned it a couple of videos ago, but it did come right at the end of the yarn crawl. So I'm kind of counting it. This is from Woolberry Fiber Co. And this is the Corgi Caboose yarn that I mentioned. So, caboose. I did hold it up, and it is pretty accurate. I got the tweed DK mostly because with the tweed and the black, I was like, that'll kind of nod to my tricolor Corgi. And I'm not normally one that smells yarn, but this smells so clean and so nice. Like, oh. This will definitely end up being a really cute cowl and hat set if I have anything to say about it. And the rest of the world may not know that it's Corgi related, but I will, and that's all that matters. So thanks for joining me on this awesome adventure around the state of Utah, visiting the different yarn stores. And I hope if you're passing through, you saw something that maybe speaks to you that you'd love to visit, because one of the best parts of traveling, besides seeing new things and visiting new cultures and all of that, is seeing different yarn stores. At least that's what I think. I love visiting local stores wherever I go. But let me know what you think. Did one store stick out more in particular than any of the others? Did you see something that you wish I had grabbed? Did I grab something that you wish you could have? Let me know in the comments, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!